What's going on, guys? Welcome back to WWE Network and Chill, where I, Graham G.S. and Matthews, break down all the original content you watch on the WWE Network and on Peacock. And today we're talking the February 18, 2023 edition of the SmackDown LowDown from Saturday. Yes, per usual, this is going up after the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view on Saturday. They do the episodes, unless it's like an international show that starts at like noon or 3 p.m. or whatever. They usually typically do the SmackDown LowDown on the days of pay-per-view. So because I was in Montreal for the show, didn't have a chance to watch it till today, a bit sooner than I did the Royal Rumble weekend SmackDown LowDown. So I'm making progress here. Pretty effective go-home show here for the pay-per-view. They did cover some stuff that had nothing to do with Elimination Chamber, but rather was just exclusive to SmackDown, which is why we're talking about it over here right now. Jackie Redmond in the studio, Matt Camp on site in Montreal for Elimination Chamber weekend. They opened the show replaying that amazing Sami Zayn promo from SmackDown. Now, I know I didn't do an audio SmackDown review this week, but it was a phenomenal piece of business. Being in the building for that moment, that reaction, the promo, was one of the coolest things I have ever seen live. Just awesome. Back in the studio, they preview Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship at Elimination Chamber in Montreal. They also recap the Drew McIntyre and Sheamus win over the Viking Raiders. Sheamus backstage, along with Drew, with Megan Moran. They plug the Celtic Warrior workouts episode that I guess Sheamus did recently with Megan Moran, which I don't really care about the workout sort of stuff, and not even really that I care about Megan Moran, but she doesn't really tend to show a lot of personality on these SmackDown LowDown shows and on SmackDown. So I would love to know, watching that video, if she comes across less like a robot on that show. I mean, I like her. I think she's decent, but I would love to know, watching Celtic Warrior workouts, if that's indeed what she was on, if she comes across more like a human being than like a backstage robot for these interviews, but whatever. Sheamus praises the Raiders in defeat, calls the crowd unbelievable in Montreal. Drew McIntyre says they need a big match at WrestleMania, and it's banger after banger after banger. So they didn't specify what exactly they have their sights set on come WrestleMania, but one can only assume it will be the Intercontinental Championship. It's going to be Gunther, Drew, and Sheamus. Triple threat for that championship at WrestleMania, I would have to imagine. Matt Camp discusses their win, the win for the now former Banger Bros, Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. They preview Rey Mysterio, another, M surname. Rey Mysterio versus Karrion Kross, the rematch. Why we're getting it, I don't know. Rey beat Kross clean the first time. I know they set it up on SmackDown on Friday, but why we're getting a rematch, I'm not really sure. Unless Kross wins, I don't know why they would do that. So it's going to be Rey and Kross on Friday. Rey Mysterio tells Megan Moran backstage that Karrion Kross should not have expected him to not step up, and then he promises to slap the taste out of his mouth come SmackDown on Friday. They preview the Charlotte Flair Rhea Ripley face-off for SmackDown coming up this week. They replay the Gunther and Madcap Moss Intercontinental Championship match from Friday's show, which was a decent match, good match. Probably one of Moss's, if not his best match ever on the main roster, but a win is a win for Gunther nonetheless. Matt Camp said that he was not surprised by the result, but praises Moss's performance in defeat. They recap the women's tag team match, replay that with Natalya and Shotzi coming up short against Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler in tag team action. Matt Camp says that Ronda and Shayna are on the same page right now. They replay the Asuka and Liv Morgan matchup. Backstage, Liv Morgan tells Megan Morant that her attack on Raquel Rodriguez on SmackDown ahead of Elimination Chamber was not personal, strictly business, as they all like to attack each other before the pay-per-view. She lives to be in the chamber, and that was about it. So honestly, one of the better promos from Liv here. A lot of like her recent promos in the last couple of months when she was like going crazy and shit like that, it was just very cringeworthy for me. And I like Liv, but a lot of her promos are just very annoying. This was not annoying. This was pretty simple stuff. In line with your basic Liv Morgan promo, but better than usual, I thought, personally. Matt Camp talks about Morgan's run over the last year and how she's gone from being in the chamber to then competing for the tag titles, winning the SmackDown Women's Championship, beating Ronda twice, and everything else she's done since then, having a great showing in the Royal Rumble. This is her time to shine, and spoiler alert, she did not win. They plug Liv Morgan, speaking of whom, Johnny Gargano and Montez Ford for the bump before the pay-per-view this past Saturday. They also run down the Elimination Chamber card, and Matt Camp says that he feels it's Sami Zayn's night to become champion, and again, spoiler alert, it was not. So pretty, again, as a go-home show for Elimination Chamber, I thought this was effective, solid stuff. The other stuff that happened on SmackDown was pretty basic. I thought honestly SmackDown on Friday being there was kind of a standard, largely boring show up until the Sami Zayn promo in the main event. I thought the Viking Raiders Drew Sheamus match was also quite great. Asuka and Liv was fine. Gunther and Moss was fine. The main event was really that promo from Sami was really what made the show worthwhile for me. But yeah, so that was the SmackDown Lowdown for February 18th. 2023. And also due to Matt Camp being on site for the show in Montreal, they didn't talk over the matches, so like when they replay the matches here, they usually recap them. Here they just replay them. So for me, the episode was like around 29 minutes, longer than it needed to be, but because I skipped through all like the replays of shit I already saw, probably came out to like 24, 25 minutes, commercials as well. And that was about it, guys. Thank you so much for checking out the show per usual. I appreciate it. Be sure to like the video, drop a comment, share the video, and subscribe to the channel for more daily content. Have an awesome one. I'm Graham G.S. Matthews, and I'll catch your ass down the road.